And welcome to the Big Fish Theory. And for a fucking change, we've scored a late fucking equaliser. So let's get straight into it. Second half. Should we not just bother with first half, F.
Yeah, I think you're right, son. And part of the second half as well, to be honest. When Tanaka get ball away and they scored, we'll get rid of all that. What can you say? To be honest with you, that wasn't best performance, but they did it to us at Ellen Road. We beasted them at Ellen Road, played really well. They scored with last kick at game, and today's it's happened to them, hasn't it? And got to be honest. It was like, squeaky bum time for a side when they looked at VAR for Peru being offside. But that sets us up lovely. Because isn't it funny? Like, minute to go, bad enough now, and then you're going to bed in a different mindset, and then bang, and you're thinking you're on an high again. Get in.
Yeah, it's an Ampadu long throw that pulls us out of it. It bounces just about a little bit. I think, in all fairness, Bournemouth fought better side today.
Yeah,
but, especially in first half, their balls into box looked dangerous. We didn't really have that. I thought Tanaka were quite instrumental again, although he did get ball away just before their goal. Nemetric post, but then they had that Senesi, he crossbarred in it late in second half. What did you think to subs? Because I thought subs changed it for us, and we brought them on at 62.
Yeah. We'll talk about first half. First half were a poor half for us. We were getting ball away constantly. Bogle, every time he got ball and tried to put somebody in, he get it to the wrong player. It was just a poor first half, really, from us, I thought. I thought Aronson battled well, fought well, running to box, had a shot. Just get ball away too much. But then, same as you said, go one note down, subs change it a little bit. And then we were on it. Nemetra looked good, I thought, when he came on. Really sharp. Really unfortunate not to score, actually. But then we scored, didn't we? And then we kind of went into ourselves a little bit. We could have been 3-1 down, obviously with offside. But listen, we've had a bit of luck today. We're offside, with his elbow off kind of thing. And that last minute goal, and it happened to us at Ellen Road against Bournemouth. So that's a good point. Unbeaten in 3. And that's got to be us safe now. That's 9 points with 4 games to go. Burnley at home after cup game. You've got to be looking at that and thinking, that's a good. That just makes it that little bit harder. Even if Tottenham win at Wolves, which is probably, you've got to say they probably will win. But if Tottenham win it, that's 6 points. We've got to go there. If we can lick Burnley, it's over.
I think it's over anyway, if I'm honest. I think Wolves will beat Spurs. I do.
Listen, you're a Leeds fan.
It's always that way, innit? As soon as they're down, then they suddenly perform.
Yeah,
I know, but I'm not a down and out one.
Yeah, I thought back 4. I thought Bogle, he was poor at first half. He's took a knock, hasn't he? Coming forward anyway. I thought Gudmundsson played really well, actually. Strauch again, although their goal was a bit of a mess, really, wasn't it? From our defence.
Yeah, Gudmundsson runs past it as well, doesn't he?
But it does. But saying that, you look at, how many corners did they get? They must have had 15 corners.
I think
and
12,
bar that last
13,
one with the crossbar, we defended really well, I thought, with corners. We won majority headers.
Yeah.
I thought
Strike won majority headers.
He did, yeah. So I'm saying that I thought
Justin's face.
Yeah, Calvert-Lewin were isolated, didn't really get in game at all.
Yeah, he did what he was doing. What I did like is, in first half, the only part of first half I did like is that Biol were going long as they were playing it round back, and then to Calvert-Lewin, and Okafor were on him about 3 or 4 times that he were close enough that Calvert-Lewin chested one down and he headed 2 down straight onto Okafor. I thought Okafor looked all right. He still looks sparky. I thought Nonto was fantastic when he came on. He gave ball away early, but that happens to a lot of players when they just come straight back on. But I thought Tanaka were again instrumental. For me, what I think's a bit strange is man at match for me will strike, but he is a little bit caught off for their second goal. And Tanaka would have been my second choice for man at match, apart from he gives ball away for their
Give
first.
all away. Yeah.
Um,
I thought
we hit
Okafor.
post twice. Don't forget.
Yeah, I thought. Well, I mean that Okafor chance. It got some right spin on it when it showed you from behind goal. You could see it was spinning wrong way, and it just spun away and into
Yeah.
post. Spins other way, and he scores. So yeah. I mean, look, we've gone down there. We've got a point. Lads have travelled down there, and now we can look forward to Sunday.
Do you think?
And
Do you think they're still
fingers
singing
crossed.
Tyler Adams?
Well, he's a tosser, isn't he? Anybody that leaves Leeds
Yeah,
to
he's
go
a
to
tosser.
Bournemouth, there's something not up with him, right? but what I mean is, they don't know no history at clubs are out like that, do they? I mean, Bournemouth's a good little club. We all know that. I quite admire the way it's run, the way it's managed. But if you're leaving Leeds for Bournemouth, I'm sorry, mate. It's something up with you.
Yeah, well, obviously him and Aronson know each other quite well, and it was just that time period as well, weren't it? Well, what we're going off with us. But
Yeah, well,
I
it were
think
contracts. Well, them contracts that were on. I mean, it was
yeah,
stupid.
yeah.
I mean, you look at what's up with Chelsea now. We're going on about his next game's Chelsea. You look at what's going on with Chelsea. They just signed somebody till I think 2035. 2035 they signed him till, and
Yeah.
I'm thinking to myself, they're not going to put effort in. They're not bothered. They've got a contract. Till 2035. What it 2035? I think it was, wasn't it? Wasn't it? Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure he's got an 8-year, 9-year contract, something daft like that. It's just
they did it. They've done it for a few years now.
they have, but it
And
done, and it's biting them on arse now. Plus, you look at Chelsea, and it's this all the manager into manager basically as a coach, and there's your players, you coach them. And that's manager. I think's got to manage a club, and certainly a football manager. He knows club, he knows players. He'll go out and sit at board here. I want these 4 or 5 players, and they'll probably get one. But he does his own work on them and knows what he wants and what they fetched at club, but also personality wise. If you've got chairman and boards buying players and saying here, I don't think that's right. And I think that's what's
their running stats would agree with that because they've been outrun by every side that they've played this season.
Yeah.
Nah, I mean that's something wrong there, isn't there? There's desperately something wrong. That you can't be outrun every single game this season, especially with not just style, because obviously you have different managers in, but level of their players. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
on paper.
On paper, yeah, but also that have performed at other clubs, apart from probably Palmer, who went to Chelsea as an underperformer and then obviously had a really good season last year. But we're going to managerless Chelsea, and this will be a big boost for us because we've took now then 7 points out of the last 3. We've pulled the Sens completely out of relegation battle. Nobody's looking at Leeds anymore. You're looking up towards Newcastle now as maybe we can catch them and take them better in the season, and we can that as a result. And we've put in a performance there in second half that were a bit gritty. It was a poor game of football from all ends, but we did it post twice. Nemecha looked all right. Peru, his only involvement were really he almost got goal sent out. But I mean, you've got to start when you are safe. You do have to start showcasing some of these players that we're going to probably move on. Otherwise you end up with that Meslier situation where nobody's bothered. You've got to showcase them a bit.
Yeah.
And I think overall, Farker got the subs right. He made them earlier. And maybe we should have rotated a little bit this game. I mean, our pro rotation and Ballstick game and, have Chelsea. And it turned out that as soon as we did put in a bit of fresh legs and non-starters and that's what gave us that little bit of a spark. But it were a bit of a spark for a poor game. We were poor, regardless of how we look at it.
Yeah, I don't think though,
and poor. Yeah.
Yeah, but with this game right now, because he didn't rotate, we went into it with the same side last couple of games. I do think now they can relax and go into Sunday knowing now that they're safe. And I think probably that point's a big point for us now. You could see it at end with celebrations. Fark weren't happy throughout game. He weren't happy with contribution with some of the players, I think, and now they were getting ball away. You could see him, he was getting mad. But what this does now, it makes Sunday, go out there, lads, and enjoy yourself. Go show. Let's go and play like we played against Manchester United. Let's use a bit of width and get down and really have a good day and just see what happens Whereas if we'd have lost today, you'd have still had that niggle probably. If Tottenham did win of a weekend, and then suddenly, there's 5 points in it. We've got them to play. I think slightly better goal difference. I think we can go and enjoy it on Sunday. I really do.
Agree. I'm just having a look now at strikes, defensive contributions, 19. Aerial duels won 7 out of 6. He won man at match for me. Ground duels won 3 out of 3.
I mean, they had a lot of corners, didn't they? And a lot of balls.
Clearances.
Yeah, they put a lot of balls into box with throw-ins. A lot of throw-ins and corners.
Also crosses.
And other than that one with the crossbar, really, I thought we handled them quite well.
Yeah, I mean, they have, it's just one of them games. They have it ruled out for offside, which I'd not seen at all, to be honest with you. We've both scored 2. David crossbar, we've hit post twice. They were better side. End of story. You pack up, you move on. I don't think Farcross are any different. They weren't quite at races. Nonto brought that spark. I thought Aronson were quite good, to be honest. He actually had a couple of good runs straight after second half started, and he had this really good run off into the box, which I was quite impressed with. But yeah, that's it. I mean, there's not much to say about that one. To say it's 2 apiece.
Well, first half, I thought first half an hour looked really lethargic, kind of going through motions. It gave that impression, didn't it? The atmosphere. Yeah. I mean, it's a funny ground to go to as well. It's quite a small ground. You're close to pitch. Atmosphere, you can never get a really good atmosphere going. It's just one of them funny grounds where you go to Old Trafford, places like that. It generates a really good atmosphere. You can hear your away support because of acoustics and stuff. With Bournemouth, it's really difficult, I think. So Sunday, let's get on it.
I think we'll beat them.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I'm not making any predictions. I'm just hoping we can, be sober enough for the game when we get there.
I just want to be clear to listeners that I said 2 apiece on last podcast.
Did you? But you didn't have a bet though, did you?
So it's 1 apiece. I did, yeah, but I didn't have 2 apiece now.
Right. I said a draw, actually. I did say a draw again. So I've got it right. Last twice, 3-0 Wolves got right, and I said a draw. I didn't.
Yeah, but that don't count. That don't count at all.
But actually, what were it then? What result?
You got 3-0.
Oh, did they win?
3-0.
Did they win?
3-0.
Just a minute. I got 3-0 on Saturday, and I said a draw for today.
So you just get to pick one of the 3. It's just a draw, a loss, or a win.
Yeah. Did the draw?
No.
If you'd have had £1,000 on a draw, you'd have been pulling money in, wouldn't you?
Right. So I had 2 apiece.
Would you?
I'd have been pulling more in for 2 apiece.
You? Yeah, of course you would.
More in.
But
so then I would have won.
So, right, 3-0. If I'd have had a grand on 3-0, I wouldn't have had a grand, I'd have had a fiver. But 3-0, I'd have got that right. And then I'd have thought, all my winnings, say we'd have called it 10-1, right? So that'd have been 10 grand, right? And I'd have put it on a draw. And I'd have won.
Yeah, but then in that
that's
thought
it.
process, I would have won all money off of Man U because I said that we'd beat Man U.
You did, right? Yeah, but then you'd have lost it against Wolves. You'd have been back to square one. You said to Knacker
we would have beat Wolves anyway, regardless.
Anyway, yeah.
Thanks for listening, and sorry about bollocks at end, but we're getting old.
Yeah, right,
so it's late.
Yeah, so we'll have another one for Chelsea game.
Yeah, of course. Friday we'll do it.
Yeah, you're in Holland, so I'm gonna do some videos up way down to train with lads, and when we get there, and hopefully
I'll upload
we're not jubilant.
Yeah, I'm having about 15 at lads round.
Brilliant. I don't blame you, son. I don't blame you.
Then.
Yeah.
See you later, Father.
See you later.
Sorry.
What time is it there now in Holland? What time is it?
11:08.
Yeah, it's 11. Yeah, get to. You
I'm
what
gonna
time
get
you up for work?
in about 5 hours.
Yeah, get to bed. All right.
See you later, love.
Bye.